Good morning. Good morning. Welcome. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Welcome. 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 Today is Monday. It is Monday. Monday, March 6th, 2023. And on behalf of Purpose Journey Counseling, Reload LLC, reloaded for 2023. I want to say good morning to you. I want to say welcome to you as yes, it is Women's History Month, and we are celebrating this month. And I want to say thank you for joining us. Again, it's March 6th, 2023. It is 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Whether you're catching us live at 7 a.m. or you watch this later in the day, later in the week, later in the month, or even later in the year, we still want to greet you and say good morning and thank you for tuning in. My name is Dr. Natatu North, and I'm the owner and therapist of Purpose Journey Counseling, LLC, located in Cincinnati, Ohio. So again, it is 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we are live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And the YouTube link for this broadcast is posted on Instagram. So please take a few moments just to like this video, like our pages. Please follow us on your preferred social media platform. Also, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and share this broadcast. Tag people in the comment section. That's an easy way to do it as well, because it'll show up on their notifications so they can tune in and join at whatever time they see that. So it's very important to do that. And also, let's please interact and engage in the comment section. So I just want to give a little plug. I said this last night during our podcast, but I want to put this out there again. Purpose Journey Counseling LLC is now hiring. We are hiring expansion. We are now hiring a licensed therapist. So if you are a licensed therapist, either dependently or independently, please call 513-402-2241 if you are interested in that position. It took kind of answer just a quick question. It will start off more as part-time. If you want it to be part-time, it can stay part-time, but it does have the potential to move into a full-time position over some time as well. So please give us a call if you are interested. So I do want to share this information before we get going this morning. A couple of numbers. One for the National Suicide Prevention Hotline. That number is 1-800-273-8255. The number is 24/7. Please save this number in your phone, whether it's for you or someone else. You just want to have that information available when and if ever needed. And also the number for the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. That number is 988. This number is 24/7 as well. And you can also text this number. So please store this information or those numbers in your phone so that you can definitely have it available. Like I said, when, if ever needed. It's just good to have the tools and resources readily available in those moments and in those situations. So we do thank you so much for taking some time to do that. So it is Monday. And on Monday, we have our Monday message. And as I stated last week and even last night, as we have entered into the month of March, March is Women's History Month. So we definitely want to take some time on a lot of our time together throughout this month to celebrate women, to talk about women's history, to talk about different topics and things that coincide with just honoring women. So I did some research, and as I did with Black History Month in the month of February, and I noted that there were themes for each year for the month. And I found that there is a theme for Women's History Month for 2023, and that is actually, the theme is celebrating women who tell our stories. That is powerful. That is very, very powerful. My whole dissertation and project for my doctoral program had to do with women being able to speak up and tell their stories. Not specifically as it pertains to sexual violence, but just in general, for women to be able to speak and to tell their stories and to be able to say things that can actually help other women. A lot of times when we can talk about the things that we've overcome, not from a place of pity or not from a place of, attention seeking or anything like that. It's just being able to talk about the things that we overcome, the things that we experience, the ways that we've been able to be successful in spite of different challenges, and the ways we've been able to navigate the struggles of life is important as women. So we do definitely, as this is the theme for this Women's History Month for March 2023, but we definitely want to celebrate women who tell our stories. And I found a website that is actually dedicated and committed to this, as this is what they do. And it is actually www.sayitforward.org is actually a website where it is encouraged for women to be able to tell their stories, to talk about the things that they've done, to talk about things that may be able to encourage or empower someone else, specifically another woman, to talk about the different successes that they've had. And I just believe that is very, very powerful, because we all have a story. Everyone has a story, whether we like our story or we wish the story could change a bit. We're kind of nervous about the ending of a story because of how it started. So regardless of how it started, everyone has a story. And sometimes it can be very, very challenging to have the fortitude or the courage, the strength, even the desire to talk about the things that we go through. But again, we all have a story, and it's important to be able to have a safe space to share those stories. We talked last night about this in terms of men, but it's also important for everyone. It's important for women as well to be able to have safe spaces to share those stories. Sometimes it's actually, it can be helpful for someone else for us to be able to share the things we've gone through, but it's actually helpful for us. It's healing for us as well to be able to share our stories, because as we're speaking those stories, or even if it's typing the stories, just sharing could be, a note that you're leaving for someone else. To be able to do that holds so much power, because it gets it out. We're not internalizing it, we're externalizing it. We're actually allowing it to get out. So we're not holding on to things, we're not bottling things up. And we're actually, allowing ourselves even sometimes to purge, but to be able to really speak those things that, have happened to us in various ways, so that we can actually help. It actually helps us. It does help us as well. So it's very, very important for women to be able to do that, to be able to speak about those things, to be able to share those things in various avenues. There's various different ways for us to be able to share things, but telling your story is self-empowerment. It's self-empowerment. Again, it empowers you. And it's also important for other women to be able to empower each other. This is a critical piece. We've talked before about sometimes how women, sometimes we're not all that helpful to each other. Sometimes we bring each other down a lot of times envy and different things like that, or just judgment. Sometimes those things keep us from supporting one another. But as women can rally together, whether it's in these virtual spaces, that I greatly appreciate the opportunity to have virtual spaces, because we're able to connect to each other in various different spaces. We don't have to be able to sit in the same room to be able to positively empower and positively impact each other's lives. But as women are able to occupy these spaces and have these different conversations and, seek to grow together and seek to do life together and support one another, it's very important, because your story can incite so much hope. It can, again, like I said, it doesn't matter how the story started. Just think about stories that you've read that it starts off and you're like, oh, I don't know if I want to keep reading this, or I don't know how this is going to end, or how can this story, it starts off so sad, it starts off so dreadful. How can it get any better? But it does, because your latter will be greater than your former. We talked about that. I think that was last week. But it's sometimes it's hard to see it, but to talk about the things, sometimes we got to cry together. Sometimes we got to have kumbaya moments, hug each other, and support one another in those processes. But at the same time, it can still incite so much hope. And being able to share your story shows triumph and victory. Again, it's not about attention. It's not about being, just talking about being dreadful. We have to talk about the whole story. We got to paint that picture. And sometimes that picture doesn't necessarily start off so pretty, but it can turn into a beautiful masterpiece. Woo, that's a word. It can turn into a beautiful masterpiece. So it does show that triumph and it shows that victory. So we want to be able to do those things. So for our Women's History Month in 2023, we are honoring all women who tell their stories, all women who have the boldness and the courage and the strength to be able to tell their stories, no matter what the stories are, for being able to do that with the intent and purposes of empowering themselves, empowering other women. We do honor and we celebrate those women today. Today we do, in this entire month. We are definitely doing that, as that is the theme of Women's History Month 2023. So important. I can go on and on and on, but I'm going to cut it there. So so that's our Monday message for today. So woman, tell your story, share your story. Safe spaces, safe people, but it's important for us to be able to share and tell our stories with each other. So before we say goodbye, say see you later for this morning, I just want to say this. I'm not going to go into a long statement on this because I will be on here until this evening. Last night was phenomenal. So we're going to have a replay. Going to catch the replay of Hashtag from a Christian, Hashtag from a Therapist with Dr. Natatu, episode 10, Mental Health in Black Men, the Silent Killer, this evening, tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tune into our social media platforms. We are going to have a replay, period. We're going to have a replay this evening at 7 p.m. So if you missed it last night, or if you're just like, you know what, I need a reason to watch it again because it was phenomenal, I need to set aside some time to watch it again, set aside 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time this evening, watch it again. It was powerful. It was amazing. It was life-changing. We're going to have a replay. So that's going to be this evening. And then our next episode, so go ahead and mark your calendars now, of our podcast, episode 11, will be Sunday, April 2nd, 2023 at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So please mark your calendars to join us in April as well. So our tag for purpose to journey counseling every time we're together. I want to encourage you to be loving, be kind, be compassionate, and be intentional towards others as well as towards yourselves. So we thank you for your continued support. We really greatly do. Those of you who share, you like, you comment, and just watch. Even for those of you who never say anything and like I would never know that you're watching, I appreciate you. We appreciate your continued support, your viewership, your subscribing to our YouTube channel. We appreciate all of that. We appreciate it. So thank you so much. It wouldn't be what it is without you, because we're empowering and supporting each other. So we definitely appreciate you. So Lord willing, we'll see you in just a couple days on Wednesday for Wednesday Wisdom live at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, be it the Lord's will. We will see you then. So we thank you so much for joining us. Have a marvelous start to the week. Have a magnificent Monday, and blessings and love.